I want to do my June's reading wrap up with a yes, no, maybe. And I'm going to try to tell y'all a little bit about the books. Now, the one thing about me, honey, I never go into these books reading a synopsis. So it's always a nice little surprise when I do get into the books and I actually enjoy them, because I don't know what to expect. I'm just going based off of covers. So I have my laptop here, Goodreads open. So we're going to jump in to the books that I read for the month of June. So if you're interested, definitely stay tuned. Welcome to my channel, Radiant Reads. My name is Stephanie, and today, girl, we just gonna sit and chat real quick. Nothing too major. We're just gonna sit and chat, and I got my laptop here. I'm gonna go over some of the reads that I had, because I want to say June was a very good month for me. I didn't read too many books. Like, I feel like I've read more, but I definitely had a good time in the month of June. And the month of June was a very bookish month for me. So I think that's why so far, out of, all the months this year, I think it's my favorite. Now, before we get started, definitely like, comment, subscribe to your girl's channel. Keep up with me on my socials. And we plan to show up a little bit more. Okay? Because, baby, I still want to sit and talk about these books. And I've been really diving into my book bag, like, lately. And it kills me sometimes when I have nobody to talk to about it. It drives me crazy. So let's talk. So to start off the month of June, I went to 2 bookish events where I saw Christina Forrest and I also saw Tia Williams, and I got books that were autographed, and got to meet them and sit and, just kiki a little bit. They were so sweet. So I definitely enjoyed them, but I did not read their books, but I did get their books in the month of June. I also had a book haul for Book Outlet, and that was about 19 books. Well, it doesn't matter. I bought mad books, period. Okay, so we had a time. So let me tell you how we started off the month. So I was at the end of May, I decided to go down a new to me author rabbit hole, and I had picked Sean as the author of the month. And I had read Unstoppable, Unconditional, Untouchable, and I enjoyed those books so much that going into June, I started Roomie, Lover, Friend, A New Hope novel. And that book, this one is a romance for proximity, lovers to friends, and it pretty much follows Blair and Elijah. And this is a young lady who just got out of a bad situation and she's looking for a place to stay, and she so happens to bump into this man, and he decides, why not be my roommate? I don't know you, sir. I don't know you. And he was just the sweetest, most respectful person, but he didn't play about her, and I like that. So yeah, I thought it was a very cute read. Now, I hope I don't give too much away, but I'm gonna read the synopsis real quick. Blair Bellamy's luck for the past year has been tenuous at best. Nothing is going right. She lost her job, her relationship, and now her housing. She needs something, just one thing to go right. And when she downloads the Roomie app, she thinks she's headed in the right direction. That's until Elijah Cunningham's life is simple. He has a job that doesn't drain him, a workout routine he's perfected, and favors his own company over anybody else's. Teased all his life for being a homebody. Imagine his surprise when the woman of his dreams shows up on his doorstep. He's not looking for a roommate, but something about Blair won't let him leave her alone. And I enjoyed their banter. I enjoyed, them just learning each other and understanding where they were coming from, because, honey, they were stubborn. They were a stubborn couple. But I enjoyed it. Definitely a yes. The next book that I picked up was the third book in the Curve series, and that was Big Girl Blitz. I have the physical copy, and I also have it on KU, and I also listen to the audiobook. So I had 3 ways of reading it. This one is a romance. It's a sports romance, and it's friends to lovers. So pretty much we follow our girl Jasmine, and she's back home because her aunt is sick, and she's spending time with her aunt, and her aunt decides to make this bucket list of all these things that she feels like she's missing out by not doing, you know, all these things that she's always wanted to do. And it just so happened that she bumps into Lamar, and girl, he fulfilled some of the things on her bucket list, and they just had a really cute banter and were very supportive of each other. And it also showed that sometimes being patient and understanding where another person is coming from is so important when it comes to starting a new relationship. So I definitely enjoyed this one. This one's definitely a yes. Now, when it comes to the series, I don't know about y'all girls, and I know a lot of the women love Jasmine down, and that's their favorite character. But for me, personally, I still like Curvy Girl Summer. It's still my favorite. I go back to it and I'm like, yo, I really need to go get a copy of this book because their banter was so cute. They were so funny together. So I don't know, maybe I'll do a reread with all 3 books, but as of right now, this is a yes. But for the series, I still enjoyed the one that I enjoyed. Okay. Now, I also went to the Summer Walker concert, and it was the Finally Over It tour, and it was just like a random, cute, let's just step out. I haven't gone to a concert in a minute type of thing. And so because I was going to that concert, I decided to pick a book that I felt like would fall in line. And so I picked up I Love You Too Much by Jessica Watkins. And this one's a romance thriller suspense book. And when I tell you it was unhinged, it was unhinged, okay? We have Aviana and Damar, and it was just a lot going on. And I'm just gonna read the quick blurb. It says, a husband's deadly affair set off a chain of deception, obsession, and unraveling truths in the twisted domestic thriller where love becomes a weapon, the past won't stay buried, and the truth is more dangerous than the lie. And honey, it just kept, like, it was like an onion. Like, different things just kept popping up, and it got to the point where it was like, what else? Babes, what else could possibly happen right now? But when I tell you I enjoyed, I was like, oh no, the whole entire time. So I definitely would say this is a yes. Now, staying on the Jessica and Watkins train, I decided to jump into another book in her catalog just because I enjoyed myself so much. And I ended up reading the Cartier Cartel, A Legend and an Icon, book 1 and book 2. And both of those are a yes for me. I want romance, it's crime, it's urban. I'll just read the little blurb. Everything changed the moment Livia came into my life. She got me thinking about things that I ain't never thought about before, like a future that ain't all guns, war, and money. But how do I keep her safe from the chaos I live in every day, especially when enemies are lurking in every shadow, waiting for the perfect moment to strike? I've been holding it down for my family since before my brother took over the Cartier Cartel. But balancing love and loyalty ain't easy when the streets stay calling. My world is full of bloody revenge and deadly secrets, but Livia makes me want more. My problem is my enemies know how to play dirty. Every decision I make could cost me my empire, my family, and the woman who's got me questioning if I can even be the man she deserves. I built this life brick by brick, but now I gotta figure out if I can survive it and still have her by my side. And that was a battle that he had throughout the whole story, where it's kind of like she's not outside and he's outside. Like, how do you find balance? She didn't like enjoy him being a hustler or, you know, a boss in that way. She wanted him to be the guy that she met. And it was kind of just like, honey, you're gonna have to pick. You cannot find peace between the two. You cannot find balance between living this life that's going to constantly have you looking over your shoulders in danger and have her in danger and still find peace at home. So I enjoyed it. Yeah, I would say it definitely was a time, because as soon as I was done with book 1, I went right into book 2. So it's a yes for me. Now, I read Won't Keep You Waiting by T. Lynn, and this was a cover read, to be very honest. The girl on the cover is very cute, and this is book 1 in the Armani Sister series. It's romance, and pretty much Rio is a poker player and a father, and China is she's a teacher, and Rio is the father of one of her students. Okay, and the first day that man saw this woman, he was like, that's my wife and my baby mama. That's my wife and my baby mama. He did not introduce her as her first name, last name. He did not care what status she had, if she had a man or not. That's my wife and my future baby mama. And he did not play about her, not one bit. And from start to finish, that's exactly the same energy that he kept. And I like that for them. So this is a definite yes. I had a time, and I said because of that I would definitely go into the next books and see what's going on with the other sisters in the series. Now I wanted to do a palette cleanser, and I also wanted to clean up my Kindle, because I have, so when you have Kindle Unlimited, when you're on a KU, I believe they give you 19 slots for books that you can like reserve and read for an unlimited amount of time. There's no time limit. You read it and then once you're done with it, you just send it back, and then you can pick up another one as long as you have, you know, slots available. And there's books that's been sitting there for years, and it just so happened that I had added this back in November for Novella November, but never picked it up. So I picked up Back for More, and this is a novelette. So I want to say it's only 64 pages, baby. It was real quick, but it was so good. It was so good. And this is by Aubrey Penn. Okay, this is a romance read, and I just feel like, babe, just go into it blind. Just don't even think about it too much. Don't even worry about it. Like, just know they used to be friends. They left, they came back, they're lovers. It's a time. Real quick. But I think the part that I liked most about this book was, I want to say, the grandmother. I think the grandmother was like the best character. Yeah, Big Mama was the main character to me, and she made it more enjoyable. I just enjoyed her energy throughout the whole book. So yes. Now, girl, let's talk. I decided to go back and read Demon's Dream by Elle Kaysen, and it's a yes. Okay, the very first time that book came out, I tried to get on the wave with everybody else. Girl, I was not ready for dark romance. I was not ready for all of that. I was not ready for the language. I was not ready for them to be talking and yanking people up. And I don't know what it was. So I had put it on hold for so long. And this time I was like, girl, why did you not finish this? This is so good. So I finished that. And then that's a yes, right? So because of Demon's Dream, I decided I wanted to also jump into something that gave dark romance, but maybe a little darker. Okay, and the next book that I picked up was Huntsman, a mafia romance, and that's by Naima Simone, and that was a yes. Okay, I mean, they're saying it's supposed to be some kind of retelling. Girl, the only part that gives fairy tale is that apple that keeps popping up in the story. But other than that, I don't know what retelling they were telling, because baby, they were wild, and I had such a good time realizes that someone was sent out to get her next, and it just so happened to be the Huntsman. And baby, the twists, the turns, I enjoyed it. This is a yes. I enjoyed it, but it was the first time that blood play was a thing in a book for me. That was so random. So I say check your trigger warnings, because again, I think a lot of the time dark romance ends up being a DNF for a lot of people because you're not prepared for what you're about to read on page, because it's not something that's normal for you. That was very strange to me when I first read it. After a while, I kind of was like, oh, okay, they just weird, they just wild like that, they just look crazy like that. But yeah, it was a time. So yes. And then right after that, just to kind of cleanse my palate and give me something a little more fluffy, I read August Lane, and that one was by Regina Black, and this is a yes. It's about a young lady who loves country music, you know what I mean, and the first person that she felt that understood her and really loved her ended up being the person that kind of abandoned her and left her, and now here he comes back home to their hometown, and he's put in a position that they now have to speak and they have to collaborate. And so we kind of see the history of their relationship and how they got to know each other. I decided to pick up Khaotic Ties because that's the book that was recommended to me to read for from Takara's catalog. Now, I had such a good time. It's a yes. I had such a good time. Khaotic Ties, like, it's a one night stand trope. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to give any more away. Just jump into it. And it was a quick read. It was only 207 pages. And I like Khaotic. As wild as he was, even though he did a little time for bad behavior. Not really bad behavior. He was holding down the family, but you know, you don't play that. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. And we ended off the month with Malice, Matrimony by Lakea, which was another pick from our hoopla list. And babe, it was so good I had to go right into book 2. Okay, so pretty much our girl is a dentist. She owns her own place, and she's minding her business. Her sister, who owns a tattoo shop with her wife, decides to come and bring some guy who's willing to spend a little money. Okay, he's not playing about his cash, but he wants some grills done, and she brings him over to her sister's shop, and it's just kind of like, yeah, no, we don't do that here. And he's like, yo, I'll pay you whatever you want, double it, triple it, whatever. And so she provides the service to him, and she's kind of just like, yeah, don't be bringing no randoms up in my shop, okay? And one day, her and her sister end up going out, and she comes across this fine man, and that fine man ends up asking her out, and she decides, why not? Okay, she goes on her little date. They're having a good time, and then he gets a phone call, and guess who is on the line? It's homeboy that came in for the grill. She don't know that, but that's who came in, and from there, everything goes upside down. Okay, it was such a good read. So I ended off the month really like excited about my next month's read, and I enjoyed everything that I read. I don't think I had anything that was like a hard no or I really had to muscle through it. So to me, that's a win for the month. That's a win. So June was good. We had a whole bunch of yeses. Honey, now we're going into next month with a couple books spilling over, and I'm okay with that. I'm 100% okay with that. But if you guys read any of these books, definitely let me know. If you're excited about what you read in June, let me know what you have down below, what y'all read, and maybe I'll check them out too so we can talk about it. But until the next video, I will talk to y'all later. Bye.